The spark of arrogance. The galaxy never ran out of predators. On the fringe of human-settled space lay Vanar colony, a world of miners, farmers, and children. It had no war fleets, no orbital guns, no soldiers to speak of. It was, to the eyes of the Dravari Imperium, little more than prey waiting to be harvested. The Dravari were a proud reptilian empire, their fleets sleek and cruel, their doctrine one of terror. To them, conquest was a sport, and humans were merely another species to mock. So when their armada dropped from warp above Vanar, they did not issue demands. They bombarded the colony domes. Forests burned. Atmosphere bled. Children choked under falling ash while Dravari commanders broadcast their laughter across every channel. Their words were venom. These mammals cling to rocks and call it civilization. Look how they scurry. The massacre lasted hours. The Imperium wanted the galaxy to watch. They wanted humanity to weep. They wanted Earth to kneel. But among the smoke, one man crawled from the wreckage. Thin, limping, his face scarred, his uniform torn to rags. He was dismissed immediately, another survivor awaiting execution. To the Imperium he looked like nothing. Weak, helpless, broken. They never asked his name. They should have. Mockery in the dark. After the slaughter, the Dravari celebrated. The galaxy tuned in to their victory transmissions. Holoscreens blared images of burning human homes while alien dignitaries toasted the Imperium's lesson to Earth. Humans, one admiral sneered, talk of law, of peace, of diplomacy. They fear war. They are bound by their fragile compassion. In their courts, they replayed footage of the limping survivor. The scarred human dragged across the rubble, holding a broken datapad to his chest. He was paraded in their halls as proof of weakness. Their laughter echoed across systems. The Imperium believed they had proven the ultimate truth, that Earth was too fragile, too civilized, too merciful to strike back. They believed humanity would whimper, beg, and retreat into silence. They believed wrong. The man they overlooked. The scarred survivor had a name, Commander Elias Valen. To his people he was many things, once a soldier, later a strategist, and most recently a man placed in retirement because he seemed too broken by war. He had lost battles, lost comrades, lost everything but the iron core of his will. To the Imperium he was nothing more than a prisoner. They mocked him in chains. They scanned him for fear responses. They treated him as a joke, the weakest human kept alive as entertainment. But Elias carried secrets in his mind. He knew codes, fleet routes, buried projects Earth swore never to use again. He knew the dark teeth hidden behind humanity's smile. And when he finally spoke to his captors, his words were not pleas. They were promises. You have mistaken patience for weakness. Now you will learn the difference. The silence before the storm. Across the galaxy, humanity seemed unmoved. No declarations of war thundered from Earth's council. No fleets appeared in Dravari space. No vengeance struck in the days that followed. The Imperium grew bold. They broadcast taunts across neutral space. Earth hides behind words. They let their colonies burn. They will do nothing. But then transmissions from deep space fell silent. Merchant convoys vanished. Border patrols did not return. Listening posts near Sol went dark. At first the Imperium mocked again. Their systems collapsed from fear alone. But the silence spread like a shadow swallowing stars, erasing chatter, leaving only dread. And then came the first signal, 3 words carried on every open channel. We are awake. The shattering of illusions. The first retaliation was not loud. It was surgical. Dravari outposts along the frontier were found reduced to slag, their defense grids bypassed as if they were children's puzzles. Their fleets, once proud in orbit, drifted in silence, hulls breached, crews dead, no distress call ever sent. Then the dreadnoughts came. Colossal ships unlike anything the Imperium had ever catalogued emerged from hyperspace. They did not announce themselves. They did not negotiate. They advanced in perfect silence, their weapons arrays burning brighter than suns. Entire sectors of the Imperium blinked out of existence in coordinated strikes. Planetary shields melted like wax. Orbital citadels cracked apart as if a giant's fist had crushed them. The Imperium screamed to the galaxy for aid. None came. The other powers who had once laughed at humanity, fragility, now watched in terror, unwilling to stand between Earth and its prey. And always at the heart of these strikes was Elias Vaelan, no longer a prisoner, but the harbinger guiding Earth's fury. The man who looked weakest had become the hand that unleashed the storm. Retribution without mercy. The Imperium had believed war was glory. Humanity showed them war was mathematics. Fleet after fleet poured from Sol like a tidal wave. Carriers launched endless wings of strike craft, moving with impossible precision. Ground troops descended in firestorms, their armored exosuits tearing through cities with mechanical inevitability. Every advance was calculated, every target chosen to break the Imperium's spine. No speeches, no warnings, only annihilation. On the world of Caraxes, an entire Dravari fleet assembled to make its last stand. The sky filled with their warships, proud banners streaming, their commanders roaring defiance. The humans arrived in silence. And in one blinding hour the sky turned white. Caraxes was left a glass desert, the fleet shattered, the atmosphere burning. Survivors whispered it was not war, it was execution. Across the Imperium panic reigned. Colonies fled their governors, soldiers deserted, and still the humans advanced, their patience long ended, their vengeance infinite. The weakest, revealed as the most dangerous. The galaxy began to whisper of Elias Vaelan, the scarred man, the limping survivor, the weakest human. He became a legend spoken in hushed fear. Captured footage spread, his calm stare as fleets burned, his silence as cities fell. To enemies he was not merely a commander, he was a specter. The Imperium called him the ghost of Vanar. Others gave him darker titles, the Reckoner, the Butcher of Caraxes, humanity's blade. But among humans he was not worshipped, he was obeyed. For Elias carried no joy in vengeance, only cold, absolute resolve. He had seen his people burned alive. He would see no human beg again. The galaxy finally understood. The most dangerous human was never the loudest, never the strongest, never the one who boasted. It was the one who endured, the one who learned, the one who waited until it was time to strike. Aftermath of fire. The Dravari Imperium did not collapse in years. It collapsed in weeks. Their fleets were gone, their capitals burned. Their leaders fled into the void, hunted by shadows they could never outrun. And when at last the killing stopped, silence fell across the stars. Earth issued no speeches, claimed no thrones. The humans simply withdrew, leaving only wreckage behind. In the ashes of the Imperium, other species trembled. They remembered the images, dreadnoughts blotting out suns, soldiers landing like storms, the scarred man staring into cameras with eyes that promised nothing but inevitability. In cantinas, in courts, in backroom whispers, the words spread like a prayer and a curse. Never provoke Earth again. The whispered fear. And so the galaxy learned. Humanity's patience was vast. their compassion genuine. They would trade, they would speak, they would forgive. But when their patience was spent, when the weakest among them rose from the ashes, their vengeance was not merely war. It was apocalypse. The last Drevari survivors, broken and scattered, summed it best. We thought him weak, but he was the most dangerous of them all, and he spoke for Earth.